प्राणश्चक्षुश्रोत्रम् अथ बलम् इन्द्रियाणि च सर्वाणि सर्वं ब्रह्मोपनिषदम् माहं ब्रह्म निराकुर्याम् मा ब्रह्म निराकरोत् अनिराकरणमस्तु अनिराकरणं मे अस्तु तदात्मनि निरतेय उपनिषत्सु धर्मास्ते मयि सन्तु ते मयि सन्तु ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः. I pray to the Divine Lord that all facets of my personality, including my body, mind, sense organs, prana shakti and strength, may they all increase and function in perfect concert, in harmony, so that I may always do only auspicious deeds and offer them as my humble offering and worship of the Divine. This whole universe, perceivable through the mind, through the sense organs, is nothing other than the ultimate reality described in the Upanishads as Brahman. The Upanishad says this whole universe is Brahman, idam sarvam kalvidam Brahma. May I always keep this truth in mind and strive in this life to make it my experience. As I am engaged in that effort to know the self, may all the virtues, good qualities described in the Upanishads, such as truthfulness, purity, strength, straightforwardness, may all those virtues come and reside in me. May all those virtues come and reside in me. Om peace. May there be peace in our hearts. May there be peace and harmony amongst all beings. And may there be peace everywhere in the whole of nature. We'll start with a song which was very dear to Sri Ramakrishna, in which the dominant theme is that we are all instruments in the hands of the Divine. This is what the last idea we discussed yesterday, last night, was Sri Krishna says to Arjuna that don't think that you are the doer. Arjuna was asking questions, how can I kill all these people, Bhishma, Drona, Karna, Duryodhana, all those people? I don't want to do that. But one says, you think you are the doer. Think about it. Who is the doer? Earlier in the Gita, third chapter, Sri Krishna had said, only the uninformed people, foolish people, they use the expression, I am the doer. Ahankara imodhatma karta aham iti manyate. Strong words he uses. But who is the doer? That question comes. The Bhakta says, God is the doer, I am only the instrument. The Jnani says, all actions happen between sense organs, sense objects, neither of which I am. The Jnani's position about the question, who is the doer, is explained in two slokas in the 5th chapter, slokas 8 and 9, chapter 5. The Jnani says, I am not the doer. Naiva kinchit karomi iti yukto manye cha tattvavit. Jnani says, Naiva kinchit karomi, I am not doing anything. But he is not doing anything, he is very active, more active than other people. Pashyan, Sridvan, Sprashan, Jigran, like that. Then if you ask him, you are doing all these things, you are eating, you are walking, you are talking, you say you are not doing anything. How to explain this one? You are doing something, you are saying you are not the doer. Then he says, Indriyani indriyartheshu vartante iti dharayan. How all these actions happen? Sense organs interact with sense objects and action happens. Mind says to the hand, take this book. Hand takes the book and action happens. Where is the I? Am I the mind? Am I the hand? Am I the book? There is no I. We put I where it really does not belong. Jnani does not make that mistake. He says, I am not the body, I am not the mind, I am the Atman. Mano buddhyankara chittani naham. You have chanted that one. Nirvana should come before. I am not the mind, I am not the body, I am not the sense organs. Nacha shrotra jihve, nacha grana netri. All these are sense organs. Then who am I? Chidananda rupa shivoham shivoham. That is Jnani's position. Aham Satchidananda, Aham Shiva. Only foolish people think they are the body and the mind and sense organs. So see, there is this question, who is the doer, is a very interesting question. 4 different answers are possible. One answer that is acceptable to us all, which we can put into practice, is the one that Sri Krishna says in 1133. That was the last I thought we discussed. That's in your handout, number 64. Last part of it. Maya vete nihataha purvamiva Timittamatram bhavasavya sakshim. Sri Krishna says to Arjuna, by me alone, Maya eva ete sarve bhishma dronadayaha purvamiva nihataha. Already in all these things, accomplished fact. You be the instrument and go through the motions. That's all. You are not the doer. He says, I am the doer. This is what Sri Ramakrishna says in the Gospel, many places. God is the doer, we are the instruments. Are you still there? Jnani completely gets rid of I. That is difficult for us. I has to have some place there in our psyche, in our thinking. That should be there, but make it only an instrument. And the pen, he is the author, and the instrument, he is the operator. This song that they are going to sing is just that has that idea in it nicely. So let us begin with this.
Shakuli tumari ichha mori kara tumi tomar karma tumi karo ma loke bole kori ami. Shakuli tumari ichha mori kara tumi tomar karma tumi karo ma loke bole kori ami. Shakuli tomari ichha Pange bhatta karo kori pangure rangha giri. Pange bhatta karo kori pangure rangha giri. Kare dama brahma pada kare karo adhogami. Kare dama brahma pada kare karo adhogami. Shakuli tomari ichha moi kara tumi tomar karma tumi karo ma loke bole kori ami. Shakuli tomari ichha আমি যন্ত্র তুমি যন্ত্রী আমি ঘর তুমি ঘরণী আমি যন্ত্র তুমি যন্ত্রী আমি ঘর তুমি ঘরণী আমি রথ তুমি রথী আমি রথ তুমি রথী যেমন চালাও তেমনি চলি সকলি তোমারি ইচ্ছা ইচ্ছা মই তারা তুমি তোমার কর্ম তুমি করো মা লোকে বলে করি আমি সকলি তোমারি ইচ্ছা।
Renaissance clearly says that I am the instrument, Ami Jantra, you are the doer, Tumi Jantri. Ami Ratho and the chariot, Tumi Rathi, you are the charioteer. The chariot moves only as the charioteer makes it move. So we are all instruments in His hand. Whatever comes to our lot, that we have to do as His instruments. That way I is still there, I is a place for I. Like a Jnani, we cannot completely say I am not the body, I am not the mind, I am the Atma, that we are not there yet. Until then, let us keep the I, but make it an instrument in His hand. Safe position for us to take. So that's where we start working. Now we begin the fifth segment on page 10. This we has come before in our earlier retreats. So Prahlada's instructions in the Bhagavata, 9 devotional practices that we can all practice. At least some of them, if not all of them. You can choose 2 or 3 that we can easily practice, and then we can practice them. They all do the same thing, purify the mind, enhance and deepen our devotion, and make it easy for us to reach our goal, ultimate goal. First thing here, Prahlada says, Shravanam Kirtanam Vishno Smaranam Padasevanam Archanam Vandanam Dasyam Satyam Atmanivedanam. 9 things. Shravanam is listening to the chanting of God's names and glories. Ourselves chanting is one thing, that comes second one, Kirtanam. We can, each one of us, chant God's name or any kind of stotra, japa, etc. They all have very powerful means to purify the mind. Or we can listen to somebody chanting the names and glories of God. They all produce the same effect. When we chant any stotra, usually in the Phalashruti, what are mentioned, Shivastotra Vidam Punyam Yapate Srunyadipi, like this. One who reads, chants, one who listens, they both get the same result. So listening is important. Kirtanam, chanting God's names and glories. Kirtanam is wide choice available in our enormously rich Hindu Dharma, Sanatana Dharma. Richest spiritual heritage we have inherited. I can't think of any other faith where so much fullness, richness is there. The variety of things we can do to enhance our devotion, purify the mind. and reach the goal. First of all, there are a great many hymns in the Vedas, Vedic hymns people chant. Some people chant Vedic hymns such as Purusha Suktam, Narayana Suktam, Devi Suktam, Durga Suktam, and Rudram, Chamakam. All those things are from the Vedas. Some people nicely chant them, learn chanting properly, and they are enormously beneficial, chanting Vedic mantras. Many hymns also occur in the Puranas. Puranas are very rich source of Vedic, source of hymns of various kinds. Bhagavata, Padma Purana, Brahmanda Purana, all those Puranas have various hymns. The most famous stotra that comes in the Brahmanda Purana is Lalita Sahasranama, very popular in certain parts of India. Very nice, very pleasing to chant Lalita Sahasranama. If you start chanting it, it attracts us so much, it just makes us addicted to it. It haunts us. The lines keep coming to your mind. Like that one. Very beautiful. Lalita Sahasranama, 1000 names of Lalita Devi. On Lalita Trishakti, 300 names are there. Lalita Sahasranama takes a little longer time. 300 names, Trishakti, that is also possible. That is one example of a hymn that comes in the Purana. Another famous hymn that comes in another Purana is Chandi, also called Durga Saptashati, also called Devi Mahatmya. Saptashati, 700 shlokas are there. It comes in which Purana? Markandeya Purana. Markandeya Rishi teaches that. Chandi is a very famous hymn in certain parts of India. In Bengal, almost everybody chants Chandi. Some part of it or all of it every day when convenient. Very powerful stotra. That's the example of a hymn that comes in the Purana, Markandeya Purana. Chandi story is also very interesting. There was a king, his name was Suratha. But Suratha was a king, he had his own kingdom, queen and everything. But once he was attacked by his enemies, and the enemies conquered his Suratha's kingdom, took away all his kingdom, occupied the capital city and his palace also, and he had to flee for his life. They were going to kill him, but somehow at night he escaped and went into the forest to save his life, leaving behind everything. In the forest, he is roaming about, no place to go, directionless, no form, lost everything, kingdom. Fortunate enough to just get by with his life intact, to be alive. Roaming here and there, not knowing what to kill. At that time, he comes across another person who was in a similar plight. Two people, they meet in the forest by chance. The other second person, he tells his story. They talk to each other, greet each other, why are you here, why are you here? They ask each other. The king says, I was a king, I lost all my kingdom and my enemies defeated me, took away my kingdom. I was separated from my queen and children and everything. I am here, no place to go in the forest to save my life. What about you? Why are you here? The second man says, similar story. I was a very successful, prosperous businessman, had a large business, but my partners cheated me. And I lost everything. They took over the business and drove me out. And my wife and children also abandoned me because I had no money. I lost everything. So I had no place to go. I lost my house and everything. And I am here not knowing what to do. Two people in similar plight commiserate about their miseries. When they were doing this, roaming in the forest, the king and the businessman, merchant, at a distance they see in the forest a hermitage, Rishi's Ashrama. There was a Rishi in that Ashrama. They go to that Ashrama, the king and the businessman. In that Ashrama there was a Rishi. His name was Medhas. That Rishi greets them, welcomes them to the Ashrama, says welcome, and asks them, how come you are here? What brought you to the Ashrama? The Rishi asks them. They tell their story. King tells his story and businessman tells his story. And then the king says, what can I do now? I lost everything. How can I regain my kingdom? The businessman says, what can I do now? I lost everything. How can I get peace of mind? So the Rishi gives them Upadesha, spiritual teaching. Whole Chandi is that story, what the Rishi says. Then he says, both of you worship the Divine Mother Durga. She will fulfill your wishes. Now Durga, Navaratri is beginning today, very auspicious day to remember the Chandi story. That's why I am telling it. Today, Navaratri first day today. The Rishi says, you worship Divine Mother Durga. He teaches them how to worship. He gives them instruction. These are the things you have to do this. Methods of worship he teaches, Rishi. And they worship Durga with great devotion and diligence. Durga Devi grants their wishes. The king, she says, you will regain your kingdom, you will become a great emperor, you will, for a long time you will rule, and you will be all right. So he goes satisfied. The businessman does not want his business back because he knows it's like everything else. It is upadi. It is not going to bring you happiness. So he says, I don't want anything. I want knowledge. I want devotion. Divine Mother grants that to him. And there in that Sandi, in that Upadesha, that the Rishi Medhas gives to the king and the businessman, it has 13 chapters, 700 verses in 13 chapters. Those 13 chapters are a part of the Markandeya Purana. In those 13 chapters, there are 4 hymns are there. One hymn, it comes in the first chapter. Brahma invokes the grace of Divine Mother Kali. That comes in the first chapter. In the 4th chapter, another hymn comes, Indradi, Shakradi Stuti. Indra and other gods prayed to Divine Mother when they lost their kingdom taken away by the Rakshasas. In the 5th chapter, Aparajita Stuti comes, very famous Stuti. Yadevi Surabhuteshu Matra Rupena Samstita Namastasya 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 Namo Namaha. That shloka comes in chapter 5. It's called Aparajita Stuti. Very beautiful hymn. At least online, these 10 days we have to chant those hymns. Some people read the whole Chandi, 13 chapters every day during these 10 days of Navaratri. Then in the 11th chapter again another hymn comes, Narayani Stuti. Very famous hymn. In evening arati here and in other ashramas, we chant the Sarvamangala Mangalyam, Shive Sarvartha Sadhake. Those 3 stanzas are taken from the Narayani Stuti coming in the 11th chapter of the Chandi. From Chandi, these 3 hymns are taken. Sarvamangala Mangalya, Shive Sarvartha Sadhake, Sharanye Trambake Gauri, already most of that is, and subsequent two slokas which we chant are from the Naurani Stuti coming in the 11th chapter of Chandi. We have to chant that. Especially during these 9 days, 10 days of Navaratri. If you cannot read the whole Chandi, 13 chapters, so you can chant the 4 hymns which can be done in a few minutes. That's why this story is relevant. Why it came, because chanting, second item, Prahlada's instruction, chanting, Kirtana, Shravanam Kirtana. I will listen to somebody chanting these 4 hymns, coming in the Puranas, coming in the Vedas, Vedic mantras, Vedic hymns, Purana hymns, like Chandi, Lita Sahasranam, etc. Apart from these, there are a lot of other hymns. Ramayana and Mahabharata also have hymns. What is the most famous hymn that comes in the Mahabharata?
Vishnu Sahasranam.
Vishnu Sahasranam. Most famous hymn. Everybody, not everybody, most people chant it in India, here also. Some people chant it all the time. Vishnu Sahasranam, very powerful. Dharmaraja asked Bhishma at the end of the Mahabharata story, after everything was over, Dharmaraja goes to Bhishma and asks him what is the best spiritual practice I can do. So many things can be done. What is one thing that is very effective, that can be easily done by anybody? Bhishma says, chanting Vishnu Sahasranama is the most powerful spiritual practice. Anybody can learn to chant Vishnu Sahasranama. It's not difficult. He said, Vishnu and teaches Vishnu Sahasranama to Yudhishthira, Dharmaraja. That comes in the Mahabharata. Another famous hymn comes in the Ramayana. The Ramayana, Yuddha Kanda, what happens is, in the war between Rama and Ravana, in the beginning days, the armies were fighting with each other. Rama's army, consisting of Vanaras and Jambavan, Sugriva, all those people, were fighting with Ravana's army. And Ravana's Kumbhakarna, his son Indrajit, all those people, they were fighting. Finally, Rama comes face to face with Ravana on the battlefield. When Sri Rama sees Ravana, powerful man standing 10 heads and 20 arms and everything, standing in front of him, even Rama lost confidence. Like Arjuna lost confidence when he saw the Kauravas 18 divisions, 18 Akshogini Kaurava army. Momentarily, Arjuna became diffident. Something similar happened to Sri Rama also. Can you imagine? Sri Rama himself lost confidence when he saw Ravana. Then Rishi Agastya was watching all these things. Agastya was Rama's mentor at that time. Agastya looks at Rama, what happened to him? He lost confidence. So Agastya tells Rama, this is not becoming up. Just like Sri Krishna tells Arjuna, why have you become so weak? Second chapter, Sri Krishna says to Arjuna, from where this weakness has come? Kutastva kashmalamidam vishame samapasthitam. Second chapter, slokas 2 and 3. Very important slokas in the Bhagavad Gita. Swami Vedanta emphasizes these 2 slokas are very important, he says. They contain the essence of Gita teaching. Slokas 2 and 3 in second chapter. Sri Krishna says that Arjuna, you should be strong, you have this weakness. Kutastva kashmalamidam, from where this weakness has come? Vishame samapasthitam, in this critical juncture, you are feeling so weak, says Arjuna. Anarijushtam asvargyam akirtikaram Arjuna, this is unbecoming of you, you are a noble man. You are Arya. Ordinary person can lose confidence, but not you. You are Arjuna, you are known as the greatest warrior. This is totally uncharacteristic, unbecoming of you to lose confidence at this critical juncture. Laivyam masmagamah partha Arjuna, don't be subject to this weakness. Naita tvayi papajyate. In you, this is unbecoming, totally uncharacteristic. You should not do this one. Kshudram hridayadorbalyam tyaktva uttishta parantapa. What strong words Sri Krishna says. If we chant this one, we also feel a little bit strong. Such powerful slokas, 2 and 3, second chapter, Gita. Give up this faint-heartedness, silly faint-heartedness, unbecoming of Kshudram hridayadorbalyam tyaktva uttishta parantapa. Stand up. You have this strength, you have the power. Similarly, Agastya says to Sri Rama in the Ramayana on the battlefield. He says to Rama, Rama Rama Mahabaho Shrunabhuhyam Sanatanam. I'm going to teach you a hymn to the source of all strength, Surya, source of energy. All life on this planet is sustained by Surya. Everything, all energy comes from Surya on this earth. Without Surya's power, energy coming from sun, people cannot live, plants cannot live, animals cannot live. Rain, no, there is no rain, no fall, no river, nothing. All possible ways. Pray to him for strength. He teaches him, Agastya teaches Rama one hymn. It has 32 slokas, short hymn. And asks him to chant it 3 times. Etat trigunityam japtva yuddheshu vijagishyasi. If you chant this stotra 3 times, Agastya says to Sri Rama, you will win in the war. Yuddheshu vijagishyasi. Dasmin shani mahabaho ravanam tam jagishyasi. This moment, you will conquer, defeat Rama. So Rama listens to that hymn taught by Agastya, chants it 3 times, gets back his strength. One arrow, infallible, Ravana is. So that hymn called Aditya Hridayam in the Yuddha Kanda of Ramayana, Valmiki Ramayana, it comes there. Easy to chant, only 32 slokas, you can memorize it. Gives lot of strength. Like this, Puranas have hymns, Vedas have hymns, Puranas have hymns, Ramayana and Mahabharata have hymns. Besides these, great many other teachers, spiritual gurus, Mahatmas in our rich country, over many centuries, in different parts of India, have composed hymns in various Indian languages. Various Indian languages. Any language you take, Marathi, Gujarati, Hindi, English, Telugu, Kannada, Malayalam, Hindi, any language you take, so many hymns are there, created by great Mahatmas. So rich, you don't find anywhere. This variety, this richness of spiritual heritage. Tell me one most famous hymn in Hindi. Very famous hymn.
Hanuman Chalisa. Hanuman Chalisa.
Hanuman Chalisa. What can be more powerful than that? Tulsidas, the greatest hymn. Many people chant it many times every day. You chant Hanuman Chalisa, you will get the result. Concrete. Once, many times. It's chanting, it is so enchanting. Chant once, it will keep coming back to you. It will haunt you, it won't leave you. You start the practice, Hanuman Chalisa will come to you in your. It keeps on going on in your mind. It has such power. Powerful hymn. Like that in many languages. Marathi people chant Ramakrishna Stotram, Manatya Shloka like this. So many great Mahatmas, Rishis over many centuries in different parts of India have composed numerous hymns in different languages. Where will you find this rich variety? And we have the inheritors of this rich heritage. If you don't make use of this, if you don't learn any stotra, then we lose. So make it a point to learn some stotra of your choice, in your language, whatever language you like. Memorize it and chant it every day. It will give a lot of strength, purify the mind, opens our mind to knowledge and devotion. So first two steps, Sravanam Kirtanam, pranava step. We all have the opportunity. We should not let it go. We should not miss this one. Third one is Smaranam, constant remembrance, recollection. We will see how this can be done in the last two segments of our study. How Western science also did constant remembrance, all the time keeping thoughts of God in our mind, by repeating His name or mantra, doing all our work as worship, as offering, as we saw yesterday. If you do all our work as puja, everything that we do is worship of God. That we saw yesterday in 1846. I wrote it. I don't know where it is. Sri Krishna says, do all work as worship. Swakarmana tamabhyarcha siddhim vindati manamaha. Like that one. Then what happens? Since we're always doing some work, we're always worshipping God. Whole life becomes an unbroken stream of worship. Remember, we are not worshipping God. Eating is worship. Yadashnasi, he says specifically in the Gita. Sleeping is worship. Nidra Samadhi Sthiti, Shankaracharya said yesterday we chanted the shloka. It was just there, just in the previous segment. 63 on the previous page, page number 9. Whatever we do is worship of God. You have to keep that attitude in mind. Atma tvam girjamati sahachara prana shariram graham puja te vishayo apavagarachana nidra samadhi sthitihi sanchara padayo pradakshina vidhi stotrani sarva yero. Every time you take a step from this room to that room, from kitchen to dining room to bedroom, Pradakshina vidhi. Satyam I am letting Bhagavan is present everywhere. Every word I say, sarvajiraha what? Stotra and all your hymns, praise of God. Even he says, Nidra Samadhi, even when I go to Nidra, that is a kind of Samadhi. Then he says, Yajyat karma karomi, whatever work I do, O Lord Shambho, Tattadakhilam, Tavaradhanam. If you keep that attitude in mind that I am doing this work as his worship, including office work, business work, family, household duties, taking care of children, cooking, cleaning, feeding, doing laundry, everything, vacuuming the floor, everything is worship of God. Then what happens? Our whole life becomes a unbroken stream of worship. It's not difficult to do. You have to cultivate the habit, the attitude, that is all. So constant remembrance of God, number 3. Smarana. Then fourth one is service of divine in all the beings. Padasevanam. Padasevanam means worshipping the feet of God. Where will you find feet of God? You are at God's feet.
Everywhere. Everywhere.
Give me the shloka we studied.
Sarvatah Panipada.
Yes, 13:13. Easy to remember. Where will you go to find God's feet to wash His feet, worship His feet? That's only the nearest person next to you. God is sitting and His feet are God's feet. I'm not saying this, Sri Krishna is saying this in the Gita. Chapter 13, Shloka 13, easy to remember. Then Bhagavan says, all feet are His feet. All hands are his hands. With whomever you shake hands, you are shaking his hands. All faces are his. Whomever you see are seeing God in that face. Sarvata Pani. Pani means hand. Pani Grahana, you know. Sarvata Pani Padam Tat Sarvatokshi. All eyes are his eyes. Whoever is seeing you, he is watching you. You are always being watched because he is watching you through all the eyes. Even if a dog looks at you, they are his eyes, he is looking at you. Sarvatokshi Shiro Mukham. All heads are God's heads, all faces are God's faces. Sarvata Shrutimat. All ears are God's ears. He is hearing to all the ears. I am speaking, who is hearing? He is hearing. How many pairs of ears? People downstairs and everywhere also watching on sky. He is hearing. Sarvatokshi Shiro Mukham. Sarvata Shrutimat. Loke Sarvam Avritya Tishtati. Pervading everything. Tishtati. He is there. You can't escape him. He's always there. So Pada Sevanam, how will you do? Render service to the nearest person in need of service. You reaches him. Dog is thirsty, give water, you reaches him. He is Vaishwanara in the dog's stomach also. Dry plant is drying, pour water, it reaches him. A person is hungry, give him food, it reaches him. All this service, numerous ways of serving people. Numerous ways of serving people, animals, plants and things. Some litter is there on the floor. Remove it and put it in a trash can. You are serving the Lord. Because He is there. Every act that we do, small act, becomes worship. Becomes His service. See, what is not difficult. That idea has to be in our mind. I am doing it as worship. Not difficult. You can find your own way to do service. Depends on your ability, resources, imagination, creativity, opportunity. I know many people who are doing this one. One person I know goes to animal shelters where abandoned animals are kept. Nobody wants them. If nobody takes them, they will be euthanized. He goes to that place, cleans all the cages, takes the dogs for a walk, gives them bath, gives medicine, food, volunteer work. Other person I know, different person I know, he himself is a patient, heart surgery. He goes to hospital 4 days a week, volunteers. He talks to patients, helps them himself. Like this, many people are doing service. To whom do all the services reaches Him. Whomever you serve, you are serving Him. He is present in all. You can find your own ways to do things. Pada Sevanam. Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu, Smaranam, Pada Sevanam. 5 ritualistic worship, Archanam, that you can do as much as possible. As much as possible, if possible. Otherwise, you can do other kinds of worship. Many kinds of worship are there. Archanam can be of 4 different kinds. Any kind that is possible, we can do. 5 different kinds of worship. I have to create some writing space. How to, he says Archanam. We are discussing the item Archanam in of 9 items, Prahlada's 9 items. How to do Archanam? When we hear the word Archanam, we think of ritualistic worship, going to a temple or at home, puja room, chanting Ashtotra, Sahasranama, Panchokchara, Dashokchara, puja. That's what we think. That's one kind of worship, ritualistic worship. It's called Pratima Puja. In ritualistic worship, you have a pratima. This pratima we have here, a statue on photograph, and we offer various offerings. You do arati and give food offering, Brahmarupananda, that's pratima puja. It can be very elaborate, 16 items, then the Sodashotsha puja, 10 items, Durga Ashtami, Durga puja is coming in October 9th, we do 16 items. That's one kind of worship, pratima puja, as much as possible. Second kind of worship is Pratima Puja Japa Stotradi Madhyama. We discussed. Stotra. Doing repetition of God's name or mantra. Mantras are prescription or over-the-counter mantra, like medicines. You can go to a guru and get a prescription mantra specifically designed for your needs, very powerful. You have to repeat every day. Or you can take some general mantra like Om Namah Shivaya, Triyambakam Yajamahe, Gayatri mantra, whatever your choice, you can do that one. They all produce results. Japa. Stotra means chanting various hymns, Sahasranama, Ashtotra, so many examples we saw earlier. Hanuman Chalisa, or whatever you like in your language. That one, that's one kind of worship, Japa Stotra Madhyama. Third kind of worship is Manasi Puja, Uttama Manasi Puja. Mental puja, that means meditation. Dhyana or meditation. A little bit more difficult than the other two. Requires practice. You can start with japa and go into meditation like that. Japa becomes meditation if done with concentration. Then what happens? Something entirely different, fourth kind. In all these three types of worship, there is duality, plurality. I am the worshipper, the devotee, and I am worshipping God. He separates from me. The separation is there. I am the worshipper, I am worshipping God. I am worshipping Durga, Ramakrishna, whoever I worship. He separates from me. That separation is there. But for some people, in advanced stages of spiritual life, that separation disappears. They become I was and only he remains. The individual I becomes less and less and totally disappears, only he remains. This is a very high stage. How it happens in a series of stages. It may not happen, we don't have to even do that one. But it's there, I am mentioning it. Know where we are here. This is I. It means my body, my mind, my property, my children, my house, my ashrama. Now, I have a little place in my mind for heart for him. So, he is also there. Not in much place. I think of God once in a while. Little place is there in my mind. Every now and then I think of God. Now, supposing I become a greater devotee, my spiritual sadhana becomes very intense. Then what happens? And the same person, he occupies a lot of room. All the time there's God. Constant remembrance. I don't think of myself. Little time spent for eating, taking care of my needs. All the worldly concerns, property, management, children, family, all those things become less and less. More and more time spending God all the time. Constant remembrance. He occupies more, I becomes a little bit less. Still, lot of room for I is there. Then, with the grace of God, I make more progress in my spiritual life. Then what happens? Almost all the time why is there a little bit less? Somewhere in the corner. He occupies my mind all the time. All the time God. Little room for I is also there. Every now and then I take out myself a little bit. But not much. Then what happens when we reach this stage? The I totally disappear, only he remains. Limiting case. That's an extreme limiting case. We may not, most of us may not even reach there. But that is what happens, Manasi, even in that fourth one, Soham Pujottamatam. Saha Aham. Only he remains, I disappear. That's a very advanced stage. But we can just safely leave it for the time being that we are somewhere here. Let's make I less and he more in our life. That's present where we are. That's four things are kinds of puja are discussed in our tradition, sampradaya. Prathama, Pratima, Puja, Japastotrani, Madhyama, Uttama, Manasi, Puja, Soham, Pujottamottama. There the sampradaya stops. But fortunately, if you cannot do all of these, we can do something else, which is simpler than any of these things. All of these things. Where do we find that? Bhagavad Gita. There Sri Krishna says, as Shankara said in the Atma and Vedanta, whatever work you do is puja, including eating, talking, walking, sleeping, playing. Except Nishiddha Karma we should not do, say call it puja. Nishiddha Karma means prohibited actions, bad things, telling lies, cheating people, stealing. Then I should say I'm worshipping, but that won't work. But those things first. First step, your Nishiddha Karma. Then Vihita Karma, whatever we have to do, our duties, in any field of life, can be done as worship. He says how to do it. Where does he say that one? Which chapter, which sloka?
927.
927 and?
1846.
5, 8 and 9.
No, 5, 8 and 9 is still difficult.
46.
You say there.
1846.
Yes. Nine 27. He's foreigner. Also in many places, 330 office, we got the good news. These are for now too many things to be confused. Especially this one. Yata parvatir bhutanam yena sarvamidam tatam sakarmana tamabhyajya. Then what happens? Siddhim vindati manamaha. So this is the best kind of worship.